Welcome to Kansas City. They call this America's soccer capital. Kansas City's fan base is passionate. It's the city that will host the World Cup next year.
Let's reveal your official FIFA World Cup 26 host city poster. The design, titled Woven Together, was created by local Kansas City artist J.D. Arnett and is inspired by the tradition of soccer scarves, symbolizing the unity of Kansas and Missouri as one team, one city, and one unstoppable force on the world stage.
My first introduction to the World Cup was in 1994. I was 7 years old. So obviously that World Cup was in the United States, so it was front and center with everyone. But up until that point, I really didn't have a good feel for the fact that soccer was a global game. To me, soccer was just something that I played rec on the weekends, and that was my world of soccer. But in 1994, all that changed. I remember learning about the different countries and their flags. I was really into their flags and just the different colors of different teams and the uniforms. So yeah, I think it was just a cool introduction for me as a kid to learn about different parts of the world and to learn that soccer really is a global game.
Soccer was the major sport in my life through my childhood. And I remember the 1970 World Cup where Pelé was playing for Brazil. And at that time, he was like a superhero.
The World Cup in 2010 was the reason that I got into soccer and eventually started a career in soccer. So the World Cup is huge for me, and I think for a lot of people that's their starting point with the sport.
It's easier to talk about it now, looking back, you have a different perspective on things, but when you're going through it the first time, you're really just focused on trying to perform, and you're really trying to not think about the moment too much because obviously it is a big moment. One thing that really helped me was having Graham Zusi there. Graham and I were really close, and we had kind of gone through a lot of these similar experiences together as players, and so he was sort of my comfort zone in a lot of ways. I remember warming up before the first game in Brazil. We just ended up warming up next to each other, so in a lot of ways it just felt like a normal game. I know it wasn't, but we had gone through so many games together and we had practiced next to each other so many times, and that's just kind of what it felt like. I mean, me and him were just out there on a soccer field, and the rest was sort of in the background. It's one of the pinnacle moments of my career, and I just feel very fortunate to have that opportunity.
My name's Alan Dietrich. I joined Sporting at the beginning of 2012, and for 10 years I was Chief Operating Officer. And then I transitioned into a role where I've been focused on fan experience, on supporting World Cup initiatives in the city, and then also on the board of our Foundation Victory Project.
I'm the director of match experience, and that handles everything from what goes on the video boards to the fireworks, the music, overall match day experience. I got involved because we wanted to take our experience on the road for our one meeting with FIFA to show them what Kansas City is all about. And also being from Kansas City, you kind of know what makes this city tick and what makes it really special.
After the U.S., Canada, and Mexico were selected, they created the process where all of the cities could bid. Sporting was working very closely with the Sports Commission, putting together this bid booklet. We made it down to a smaller set of cities, and then in the fall of 21, FIFA came through and were doing site visits for those cities. That was a big deal when they were coming here. We had a whole committee of folks from the Chiefs, obviously the Sports Commission, Sporting, and other entities, and we were working on how we could kind of blow it out, how we could just create a great experience for them when they came here. And we worked on every little detail you can imagine.
We were thinking, where are they going to stay? Where is their hotel room going to be facing? How are we going to get them to the city? What are they going to listen to when they're in the bus? What are they going to eat when they're in Kansas City? So it was a very intentional experience for them.
They were walking over to Power and Light from Lowe's Hotel, and we worked it out so that the streetcar came right by there. At that point in time, that was wrapped in We Want the Cup. And it just kind of went on and on like that. And we worked out the traffic routes for each group so that they were going through like the best parts of the city, and there were landmarks we could point out. And then we were hosting a U.S. women's game that evening, and they were all there, all of the people from FIFA that were checking us out. And so we ended up staying like an hour and a half after the match in Victory Suite because they were having so much fun, and we wanted them to continue to have fun. That was a big moment for us because we knew that was our last opportunity to make a great impression.
We had a couple weeks, maybe a month, and they said, hey, we're gonna announce the host cities on this day. It's gonna be on Fox Sports 1. We'll let you know. You know, like you think of the teams in March Madness that are on the bubble and they're sitting there on CBS waiting to be chosen. That was kind of us in an event that there is no next season. There is no, you know, we'll get them next time, this is it.
FIFA was outstanding at keeping that quiet. And, you know, as we talked it through, we kind of figured we had about a 50-50 chance. So we go into the announcement really not knowing, you know, are we going to get picked or not? We were in no other pub at Power and Light. We were there with the mayor, Chiefs ownership, our ownership, Royals ownership, a lot of leaders from the city. And they're going through that program where they announce it.
First up, we have Kansas City.
And we all like, did we hear? Did they just call our city? And then we see the name on the screen. And we went crazy. That whole room and the whole live arena of Power and Light was just going crazy. We didn't really hear any of the other cities announced after that because we were celebrating so loud.
I wasn't surprised, but I was relieved. I wasn't surprised because I know how special of a city this is, and I thought that we were a great candidate. I was relieved because I know that there was some other cities that we were going up against, and I know that it was a competitive race, but yeah, I mean, I was so pumped for the city and selfishly for myself and my family that we get to have it here in our backyard, and I get to go take my kids to some of the festivities. It's a big day for our city, and I'm just excited to show off how great of a city this is.
The main number one reason we got it, and I think FIFA kind of alluded to it, there was no city that had more passion for the World Cup. There's no city that wanted it more. There's no city that took more pride in getting it. And sometimes in life, you just want something way more than anybody else, and a city just rallies around something that nobody else really does. Like, this is a game changer for Kansas City, and the city put their hand up and said, let's go, let's do it, we want it. And our passion, our pride, our energy for the game is what separated us. At the end of the day, that's why we got it.